What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, y'all? Girl, don't worry about why I'm right here. My back hurts, so be it. I get cramps in my back. Let me tell you something, and this is why I forgot to put up in my review. Yesterday when I went to the concert, I was not feeling the day. I literally was laying in the bed practically half the whole day until the concert. And at one point, for 1 second, got the thought of, I don't even want to go. Because Mother Nature came through like a bitch. Like, like what's really going on? Like, why would you do that? So why would you do that at this time? Like, I really supposed to be getting my life for real, and you trying to slow me up. Like, it was just hell. But I had a good time. I really did. I ain't let it stop me. So, you know. But right about now, it's kicking my ass. It's kicking me in my back for real. But so if I look like I'm hunched over, that's why. That's the only position that really works right now. But that's neither here nor there. Let's get up into the episode. Real Housewives of Atlanta. This is season 16, episode 11, I believe. Let's be honest. Baby, I don't feel like we need to spend too much time on this episode. Because like I already told y'all, my back hurt. I need to stretch out. But at the same time, this whole situation with, let's get into Angela and Charles, all right? So they going out, having a little, probably like a little lunch date or whatever. And Charles really is a little grumpy old man. He really is. And that's just his personality, whatever. But, getting into the fact that he coaches for like the big three team, basketball team or whatever. And so we was getting into that a little bit. Basically, even though he's a retired NBA player, he's still very much active in the sport some way, whether it's the actual NBA or Jason with the big three, Angela was talking about how she needs to talk to her mother. Did her mother? I seen something that said her mama passed. Her mama passed recently, or was this prior to this? Either way, rest in peace if that's the case. I don't want to put that out there on her. Let me check that. I seen a post. Either way, I don't want to put that out there, but let me scratch that because I don't know if I have to look that up. But anyway, so yeah, the issue is with her daughter and her sister. I really want to get down, bump the issue that Charles and the mama had over some cleaning or whatever. Charles basically told Angela, bitch, you can't clean right, okay? You supposed to scrub this way, you scrubbing that way, okay? It goes up and down, not left or right, okay? Don't do diagonals, do circles. That's what it was. And mama said, hold up. Don't be talking to my daughter like that, trying to make it seem like she don't know what she got to do or whatever, over some little cleaning stuff. And they ain't spoke to each other in like 3 years. That is some petty shit. Okay, that is, how petty can you be to tell somebody, get into it about cleaning and don't speak for 3 years? That is some petty ass shit. But anyway, she want to talk to her sister and her mama about her sister and what the sister said to her daughter, when she was trying to borrow the car at the place where Angela let them stay at, in the car that Angela got for them. But here's the thing. Why is it that the daughter, Angela, why is it that your daughter is staying at your mama house and not your house or her own place? That part never understood to me, but hey, it is what it is. I mean, the girl got married without telling you, so, it is what it is. But she's wanted to talk to her about that, and then, it's the fact that her and her sister do not talk, and they haven't spoken for a long time. And I just really want to know what went down with that, because they won't even say her name on the show. They bleep that out, right? And so at this point, Charles said, well, I dealt with stuff like that, and what you got to do, sometimes you just got to cut them off. And Angela is the type of person where she wants to take care of people. Like, she literally wants, if she got it, everybody else should have it. Okay? She, in her mind, is like, no one should be struggling at all, especially if I got it. So she's just not that type of person that's just going to just drop you like that. Charles, on the other hand, baby, if I helped you once and you keep on playing, I'm cutting you off. I understand, Charles, because I am the same way. Okay, like you can only do so much for a person, and if they keep on trying to take advantage and all this stuff, absolutely not. I'm not gonna do that, right? And so she's gonna have that little conversation. She winds up having a conversation with her mom. Her mom said that they just closed on a house or whatever. And she was like, well, what about the house that I just got you? Okay. And she said, well, I mean, that's cool that you got us that, but we wanted to get something of our own so that like basically we won't be so dependent on you. Angela was like, I just got her like a $490,000 home. And I was like, what's going on? Like the dynamic is kind of weird a little bit, but at the same time, it's a codependency, but it's not the mama codependent on the daughter at this point. If you, I don't know if that's what you're supposed to call it, because Angela, she just, like I said, I feel like she feels purpose in her life to be able to take care of her mom, to be able to take care of her family. You know what I'm saying? And at some point, I guess the mama like, you gotta let us do what we gotta do, whatever. I don't know. It's just literally, it's weird, but I get it at the same time because listen, if I had the funds for real, especially given the things that's been going on with my mom, her health and everything, my mama wouldn't be doing nothing. Okay. Well, technically she's not. Because my sister and us, we do take care, but we would make it so much more easier where she wouldn't have stress about nothing. Everything could come so easily. She wouldn't have to lift a finger for anything. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like a lot of us would feel that way. But I don't know, that dynamic is a little weird, but as long as they talking and they cool, that's okay. So then we get to this whole situation with Cynthia. She going to meet up with Shamia, right? They talking about the whole issue that happened with Porsha and Shamia at Porsha's Pamper event, right? And so basically Shamia is just in her feelings because she feels as though, Porsha, you literally listening to these women who are coming in and telling you things that I supposedly said instead of just coming to me. Now, Shamia, you shouldn't have been talking to the girls about your friendship. Okay? You shouldn't have been talking to the girls about your friendship. Granted, these ladies have a way of playing telephone and relaying messages and relaying what was said to another party in a different tone of what it was said or a different context. And that's what Shamia was saying. But at the end of the day, Shamia, you don't know these ladies that well for you to be discussing your decades-long friendship. You know what I'm saying? And so therefore, if you're talking about it and saying things like, and I don't know if that's what she said, but basically like, let's say, for example, if you're saying, I wish she would be more attentive. I wish she, would have my back the way that I have her back, but it's still all to the good. They gonna interpret that to make it seem as if you meaning that the bitch is not a good friend, which she's not, but that's what they gonna do. And you should already know, you've been on Housewives, you know how reality shows work. They like to chatter, they like to spread gossip and all that stuff. And you should have been prepared for that. So that was that at that point. And it's like, I see people saying, oh, Shamia and Porsha let the show get in between their friendship. And that's not actually the case, okay? I feel like the show this season, because Shamia is a actual housewife, and she's more upfront, it's just bringing out what everybody has already been seeing and everybody has already been saying. People have not been saying the things that has been going on just now this season. No, they've been saying it since almost day one. Okay, because at one point I forgot that Porsha and Shamia were really good friends and, as they say, best friends, because Shamia, at one point, we always used to see her with Candy. And I was like, damn, I thought Porsha brought her onto the show, but she with Candy more than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? So there's that. And it's like, didn't know that Shamia mama and Porsha mama used to be best friends too. And they had a falling out. And then you got Miss Diane that's be talking and saying, well, can you really trust her? The apple don't fall excuse me, too far from the tree or whatever. And see, let me get on you, Porsha. You get up here and you crying and all this stuff. So you say you don't want to go through a friendship divorce because you're going through all of this stuff already. We already know that y'all friendship is either on pause or it's over. It's non-existent right now or whatever the freak it was. Shamia just had a birthday. You literally said, happy birthday. I hope you get everything that you wish for, and I hope you enjoy it. I took that to be a step, okay? Then the other day, before the show could even come on, you posting, talking about some, Shamia, don't you ever talk about my mama, be disrespecting my mama, whatever, and woo, woo, woo. I'm sitting here like, girl, what? And she was saying in the caption something like, I guess it was something that was being set up in the episode. And so I'm looking at it now and I'm like, what did she say that was disrespectful? The fact that she was correlating the way that y'all became cool and became friends was because y'all mamas was friends. And then y'all mamas had a falling out. And yet she didn't say nothing negative about your mother. She didn't say nothing negative about her mama. When the producers and them asked what was the falling out, what happened, she didn't speak on it. Because that ain't her business to put out there. But at the end of the day, your mama is literally on camera, Porsha, saying that, you know, Shamia, you got to take a look at the messenger, the dog that's always bringing the bone and all this stuff. Can you really trust her and all that stuff? Your mama be speaking on Shamia. We don't see nobody else speaking on her, on you like that. Her mama not speaking on you like that. Granted, when Shamia was in that studio or whatever with her sisters, they was talking about the whole situation. They was like, they seen that the friendship was kind of being off for a minute. That's basically it. Nobody was talking about anybody's mamas in a negative way like that enough for you to get up online and to put that up there. And then don't say, oh, well, don't bring up the mamas, period. Fuck that. Okay? Because nobody disrespected the mom. She was just showing how they came together and how this friendship is not just a surface friendship. This friendship was deep and this friendship was long. It goes back to their mothers being friends. So I still don't get it. And again, you did that before the episode came on, Porsha, and you pulled it down because I caught it right when you put it up there. I saw it 9 minutes after you posted that shit. And then it got real big for probably 30 minutes afterwards, and then you took it down. Baby, we saw it already. And at the end of the day, you're weird because if you wanted that to be, you want this friendship to work, you should have went on ahead and just called her. You got her phone number. You got ways to reach her. Okay? If you really felt some type of way before the episode came on, you couldn't even fucking wait and do that. But yeah, you trying to make it seem like she disrespecting your mama, and I'm still trying to figure out where. Put it in the comments where she disrespected her, unless it's something that she posted that I didn't see, because I don't follow neither one of them. You know what I'm saying? So I just, well, do I follow Porsha? Okay, I follow Porsha. And I follow Porsha. Do I follow Porsha, or did it just pop up? No, I don't follow Porsha. It popped up on my, when it be on the explore shit, just them random accounts. Yeah, because I be looking at Housewives clips or whatever. So her account pop up. There it is. I don't think I follow any other Housewives besides Candy, because I was already following Candy prior. So yeah, that. And I was just like, it's really, Porsha, you're acting really, really weird. And I'm just not understanding it, okay? And I don't know. So at the end of the day, Shamia, don't be telling the girls your business, all right? So when Porsha and her get together to actually sit down and to talk about the relationship, because Porsha acts like she wants to salvage it. And she saying, this is a time where I need to be with my friend. You know what I'm saying? I'm going through so much. We both going through a lot of stuff. And this is the time that I need to be with my friend. And yet you say that you want to salvage it. You say you can't take a friendship divorce or whatever. But when you sit down and when Shamia try to talk, first of all, Shamia, I'm going to be real with you. When that initial first sit down and y'all first start talking, you asking and you firing off the questions, you wouldn't even let Porsha get a word in edgewise. I said, goddamn, bitch, you asking questions left and right. Can the bitch answer it first? Okay. But then it gets to a point where we start talking about the actual issue. Okay. The pamper party, right? And she was like, what is that or whatever? And so Shamia is trying to tell her side, trying to talk about it and tell her how she feel. Girl, Porsha said, I ain't even gonna hold you. The way, I ain't gonna hold you, the way that would have sent me to the moon. Let me tell you something. If I'm in a public place and we having this conversation and she would have side like that while I'm in the midst of trying to tell you what's going on so that we can get this conversation happening because you asked me, or we trying to get down to the bottom of it, what's going on, why do I feel the way that I feel, and you side like that, bitch, I'm getting the fuck up, and there's no guarantee if you'll hear from me again. Because right then and there, it just told me that you don't give a fuck about what I gotta say. Because it's like, that's something that's not respectful. That's just like what she said when you was up there listening to her music. And you was trying to say, that ain't Drew. I mean, that ain't you, that's Drew or whatever. Like, come on. Porsha, at the end of the day, you're dramatic. You're trying to make TV. That's just really what it is. You're trying to make TV because nothing about Porsha is given authentic this season. All right. Everything is given, I'm trying to make a mark because I'm back on the show. And it's not falling through. Okay. It's not going the way that you planned it. All right. Everything's coming off very fake to me. I still like Porsha, but I call it how I see it. It's coming off very fake. The getting up and crying, could you stop? Could you stop? I don't buy that shit. I just buy that you need a scene, okay? That's just what it was, because you really don't have a storyline, right? This whole situation, you talking about her bringing up stuff from the past or whatever, and, Shamia, did she let the women get up into her ear saying things? Sure, she did, okay? But I'm pretty sure she probably been feeling some other things as well. And then Porsha said, you bringing up stuff that we already discussed years ago. Now, the fact that y'all have to have this conversation, feel like that y'all have it like every other year, that's a goddamn problem, all right? And obviously it's not sticking, okay? Obviously, one of y'all not listening for the issues to keep on coming back. And for a group of ladies that y'all don't even know to see this shit so clearly and bring it up, that's the problem. That's the problem, okay? And even then, Shamia brought up the fact that the mom said, don't trust her or whatever, and all this other stuff that you told her. And then you was like, well, I didn't say that. That's what my mama said. That's what my mom. So it still hurts her. You know what I'm saying? Like, and sometimes I just feel like Porsha acts a certain way on camera for just to be on camera. And then it kind of came clear when she said that whole shit about, so why are you doing this? You only doing this on camera? You doing this because you want a camera time for a storyline or some shit like that? And Shamia said, what I was trying to say is, how come you can't be friends with me the way that you are act the way that you are with me off screen, the way that we are on camera? You know what I'm saying? Like, let's be the way that we are when the camera is not rolling while the camera is rolling. Let's give them real reality, right? And Porsha is just like, why are you saying that? You just want to bring scene. That's what you want to bring. You want to bring a scene. You want to do a scene or whatever. That's all you're doing for the camera and everything. I'm like, girl, what? Both y'all doing stuff for the cameras. Both y'all acting for the cameras. But at the end of the day, that's fucked up if she got to say, can you act the way that you act off camera, on camera, and you say no because you need a real scene or some shit like that or whatever the fuck, baby. It just gives fake. It gives fake. I don't know. And then they're getting up, going to the bathroom, and then, eventually they do talk. Now, let me tell you something, Porsha, strike two. Now, had I would have stayed seated after you did that sigh, and then when you came back from the bathroom after they took the food away, and then Shamia was still talking because you asked her, because Shamia said, I want to know what I did that was wrong to make you want to get up and go cry and all that stuff or whatever. You get past that. You say something. You waited for her to respond. Shamia is talking because that's how you do in a conversation, and you listen, and then you start moving them knives and them forks or whatever. Baby, that shit would have sent me to the moon too. I would have said, you know what? If I would have stayed that one time, baby, that would have been the moon. Let me get the fuck up out of here, because now you playing games. Now you playing fucking games. Let me tell you something. The smallest shit will tick me off, okay? I got to get control of that, but the smallest shit would have ticked me off. And so maybe that's just me. But baby, I was sitting there annoyed, and it wasn't even my conversation, because don't do that. Because I will let that register in my mind that you don't give a damn what I got to say. But they eventually hugged it out and said that they don't want to lose each other. And I ain't even going to hold y'all. the end of that, it kind of, when they was talking at the end of the actual conversation that they needed to have, I felt a little sad. I felt a little sad because I hate when these people get on TV and they either have a relationship intact, so we thought, or a friendship intact, and then all of a sudden they get on TV and that relationship gets muddied, it gets messed up, it gets broken up. And to see how close they were at one point, and to hear how Shamia really does love Porsha. Shamia really does respect her. And to see, after that post that she posted, blasting her on social media like that, and all of that, it just felt real sad. It felt real sad to see this friendship break down the way that it has. It really has. Especially when you've been friends for over 20 years. That's crazy. But I honestly, and I ain't even gonna sit here and say, I don't want them to be friends. I do want them to fix it. I do want them to fix it. I do feel like they can fix it. Because friendships, relationships go through valleys, peaks and valleys, And I want them to fix it. That's just me, all right? Who I don't want to fix it? Ralph and Drew. Baby, Ralph is a bitch. Do y'all be seeing his Twitter? Baby, cause Drew, he was saying some shit. What did he say? He said something about the mama, talking about Drew mama and all this stuff, whatever, calling her out. And Drew Crow tweeted and said, bitch, don't be on my blasting my mama on social media and saying all this stuff or whatever, disrespecting her when she ain't say this or do this or whatever. And it's like, if you got something to say, you say it to her. We don't do that shit, okay? And he was like, well, you feel okay to be up on national TV to talk about me and all this stuff or whatever. And I said, well, bitch, that's what you signed up for, okay? But at the end of the day, I get where he coming from. I get where Drew coming from. But it just seems, I don't know, it seems very bitch made, and I know that could probably be like a little double standard or whatever, but for you as a man to be getting on social media and talking about this lady mama like that, knowing damn well that you caused a lot of the stuff that's going on, and again, we never gonna say that Drew not innocent. Well, Drew is innocent because the bitch is not. We already fucking know, okay? She is not. But compared to the shit that you have already shown us since your first season, oh, baby, we gonna be on Drew's side for the most part. Not the whole part, for the most part, okay? You trying to get her lawyer recused. You trying to get her business that she just made. Oh, see, this is why I cannot. I know the benefits of marriage and I know what it's about. But see, when it gets to this point where we get divorced or we're about to get a divorce or whatever, and now you want to take my shit too. Oh, no. Okay, baby, if I get married to anybody, which will never happen, I just don't want marriage. I've never been the one that wanted marriage. Nothing against it. It's just I don't want marriage. And honestly, maybe it's because I haven't seen a healthy marriage in my personal life. Okay? But that's neither here nor there. If that was to ever, I pop up and y'all be like, bitch, you married? Who the fuck, what bitch got you to marry her? Don't worry about it. Just know that I got contracts, prenups, all that shit, ironclad. So when this happen, when we come up in this bitch, we leave with everything that we got, okay? You ain't getting this, you ain't getting that, you keeping this, you keeping that. Baby, I'm gonna have that shit so fucking detailed, because I ain't got time to go through this shit, okay? This, you trying to take half of my business, you want to take 40% of this, you want to take this, you want to take that. Nigga, change the locks. Change the code to the goddamn house. Oh my God. And this is what I don't understand when it comes to divorce when you have children. You all of a sudden don't like this person that much and you want to blast them on social media. You want to blast them on the TV show. You want to do all of this stuff. Meanwhile, on your little podcast or whatever, but you don't realize that it's affecting the kids. And that why are you treating the father of your kids like this if you the one that fucked up? Why are you treating the mother of your kids like this if you're the one that fucked up? You know what I'm saying? Like, at one point, y'all loved each other, okay? But even if you can't stand each other, let's have enough respect to not do all this back and forth in front of the kids or in a way that the kids can access it. Like, that's still the mother of your child. That's still the father of your child. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, it reminds me of the whole DDG shit. Okay, and Hallie. Because at the end of the day, Hallie ain't said shit this whole time. Hallie didn't even release the news that she filed for that restraining order. I don't know how they got it, but she didn't put that out there. No people on her side, neither whore has said anything about this whole situation. But who has been saying will show that they guilty as fuck. DDG, his people, his friends, and all that shit. And them dumbass motherfuckers don't realize that that's just making the shit worse for him. Okay, you trolling and doing all that, it's not going to affect her the way that you feel like it. You think it is. You don't have that power that you think that you have, okay? You got these little internet incels and these little kids or whatever, but at the end of the day, she got a whole fucking Disney, all that other shit. She's mainstream. You're not, okay? And that trolling and stuff, you're providing evidence. You're providing evidence. So when y'all go to court, here, judge, I don't have to say nothing. This on this day, that day, that day. That's how the restraining order got on there, you stupid dummy. Like, I just don't understand it. I never understood bashing like that. Unless it's really deserved, like they did some really fucked up shit. But to just continue to bash and troll, that's what Ralph is doing too. Like, it's just really, really, like, y'all too old for this stuff, okay? But anyway, and Drew, you can stop. You can stop. Because you're not... She kills me when she gets ready to cry. But when the mama said that, yeah, she could see that it's a change going on with the kids because them kids be acting wild and shit. I was like, oh, okay. Well, shit like that happens. Kelly, I love every scene that Kelly does with her kids, with her daughter, especially the oldest. That teaching her trying to drive and everything, and her wanting her own car and saying I'll pay the note and all this stuff, I'll work it off, at the restaurant. I said, well, Kelly got to get that restaurant open before you can do all of that. But I like those scenes between her and her daughter. What else went on in this episode? Like I said, Angela talked to her mom. Drew was talking to her mother. I had no idea that Drew mama was almost 80 years old. She looks good for her age, to be honest. Angela mama looked good when Angela said, bitch, your husband just came to me, we damn near the same age. I said, what? I had that one scene though. I will touch on this. When Porsha went to meet up with Cynthia and Angela at the bowling alley, I really did enjoy that scene because that was fun. Every scene that they get together so far this season and they just had fun, I really, really do enjoy. Okay, no drama, no nothing. They was just having a good time. Let me tell you something, Angela, you fan as shit. I ain't gonna hold you. Okay, I was like, all right, you cute or whatever. But that's neither here nor there. Porsha, let me just tell you this. And I don't want this to sound, I don't know if it's come off harsh or whatever, but sometimes you just gotta put it out there. This is why you get to know people before you bring them truly around your children. This is why I have an issue when people bring these different partners around their kids, especially soon, and they get attached because kids, especially around her child's age, they can get attached real quick. Okay? That little girl is missing Simon, and you can't even tell her the truth that he's not coming back. He's not coming back. First of all, Simon is still in the detention center. That nigga is still in ICE. Baby, I didn't know he was still detained this whole time. Crazy. And then you talking about you texting him to tell him that, PJ miss you, whatever, whoa, and he just leaves you on red. What did you expect? But he got time to be posting this on the internet and all that stuff. What did you really expect? Come on. Technically speaking, I know he her stepdaddy, but he ain't got no obligations to that child. Okay, and thank God he really wasn't in her life at that long. Okay, because then I feel some type of way. Now with the tumultuous relationship, I wouldn't even want him around my child. I wouldn't want him to have nothing to say to my child. Okay, that's why I just feel like, I don't know, Porsha, when it comes to Simon and this shit, I don't know if it's real or you really be feeling this way and doing this shit or if it's for the camera. Because come on. You really expecting him to actually respond to you when he giving you cease and desist every left and right every other hour? Like, girl, come on. I wouldn't even want to see him. I wouldn't want him around my child at all. But hey, that's just me. And what can I say? Is that Ashley Darby? Is that her? Is that Ashley on What's What Happened Live? Looking like Giselle. Oh, okay. Um. But anyway, that's just me. And like I said, I ain't got kids, so who the fuck am I to say something? But anyway, you guys, that's really all that I have. And if I've missed anything, we can discuss it in the comments. How do y'all feel about Shamia and Porsha's relationship, like friendship? Y'all want it to survive? Do you think it will survive? Or do you think the show brought out all of this stuff or what? Like, put your honest thoughts about it, and let's just have a, respectful adult conversation about it. And especially, like, bring up, have you ever been through a friendship breakup and all that stuff? Sometimes them friendship breakups hurt worse than a regular breakup. It really do. But been there, done that. You guys enjoy your weekend. I hope it's the best, and I will see you guys later. Peace. Or not your weekend, your week, bitch. Today is Sunday. Girl, let me get the hell up out of here because I do got to go to work tomorrow. I've been off for 4 days. See you later.